What is good, family? What is good? What is good with you this morning? Welcome back to another NFNC Sports Rap Session. I am Achoti Tamar, and on behalf of News, Facts, and Comments, this is your Sunday morning rap session. Well, today, family, we got some exciting news to report. Some exciting news to report on college football, NFL football, boxing, and WNBA. So sit back, get your coffee cups up, and we're going to get into what happened last week in NFL, what happened this past Saturday in college football, and also what happened last night in boxing. Yes, yes, yes. Let that vibe play a little bit. I'm feeling much, much better after being under the weather, but I managed to feel good for this morning's program. Still trying to be consistent in bringing you all the sports news. So, without any further delay, let's get into it. So, everybody knows that Colorado was facing when I say Colorado, I mean Colorado Buffaloes, was facing a big, big opponent on yesterday. And I'm going to say, in the beginning, I was like, oh, USC, University of Southern California, is just a little bit too much for Colorado Buffaloes. They look like a high school team in the first half of the game. Colorado Buffaloes, they came out a little sluggish, right? And I was thinking, it's over, it's done. And boy, was I wrong. Boy, was I wrong. Man, that young man, Shador Sanders, I don't care what the haters say, Shador Sanders is a top-notch quarterback. Give him some room. Give him the defense he need on that offensive line to hold him back just a little bit, and he will make things happen. So, like I said, family, in the beginning, things was a little sluggish, and didn't seem like they was gonna even put points on the board. But Shador came through, family. Shador came through. So let's go ahead and get into the Bleacher Report article. Shador Sanders praised by fans for heroic effort in Colorado's loss to USC. This young man made an amazing comeback in the second half of the football game. Although it was not enough to clinch the win, you have to give him props for coming back strong. I mean, he did his thing. So let's read what the Bleacher Report had to say. Colorado's comeback attempt fell short as it suffered a 48-41 loss to number 9 USC on Saturday at home in Boulder. Now, let's just put things into perspective. Colorado Buffalo team last year only won one game. Coach Prime comes in this year as the head coach and brought some players with him, snatched some players out of the portal, and put together a team that went 3-0, and now they're 3-2. This is a young team. They played against USC, and the Heisman Trophy winner from last year, USC's quarterback was the Heisman Trophy winner. And Still, Shador managed to pull it off in the second half. Even though he didn't win, he made a hell of a comeback. Plenty of fans will have written off the Buffs after they fell behind 27 points in the second quarter. A lead USC reestablished with 2 minutes 14 seconds left in the third quarter. 20 unanswered points from Deion Sanders' squad turned this into a game. After Oregon carved the Buffaloes up to a tune of 42 points and 522 yards, fans weren't overly optimistic about their odds of slowing down Trojan star Caleb Williams. That would be the quarterback who won the Heisman Trophy last year. As expected, Colorado's defense had no answer for the reigning Heisman Trophy winner early on. He finished 30 of 40 through the air for 403 yards, 6 touchdowns, and 1 interception. So that's what happened with Colorado. Even though, they did not win, Colorado quarterback Shador Sanders at least managed to have a better day than he did against Oregon, going 30 of 45 for 371 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Although USC's offense scored at will for most of the contest, head coach Lincoln Riley won't be happy about how Colorado moved the ball in the second half. And let me tell you, fam, Coach Prime did not flinch on saying how much he was inspired by the comeback, but yet admitted that his team needs to get out there and again, in quarters 1 and 2 and do what they need to do to secure a win. So with that being said, I can tell you the major takeaway in the game yesterday as opposed to the game on last week was that Colorado's running game was superior. I mean, they stepped it up. I remember last week I said that they have no running game, and I've been saying this since I saw them play at TCU first game. And I was like, where's the running game? Without the running game, the passing game is going to struggle. But on yesterday, Colorado managed to get some good runs in. They managed to establish a running game, which kind of threw the Trojans off in the third and fourth quarter, and managed to make a hell of a comeback. I mean, even though they didn't win, the score was 48-41 against a Heisman Trophy winning team. So we have to keep our eyes on this team. Do not sleep on Colorado. Once they figure out what they need to do on defense to stop these passing plays from the opponents, the cornerbacks need to step up, right? The cornerbacks need to step up to stop these people from throwing the ball and the silly mistakes that were made. I mean, come on, missed tackles, just things that we should work out during practice, right? We have to learn how to tackle better. Cornerbacks need to be on their game and stop these wide receivers. And if they put that together with their running game and Shador's arm, man, this team will be victorious down the line. I know they have some extraordinary teams to play for the rest of the season, but after watching them do the comeback yesterday and put up all those points in the third and fourth quarter, I got to get shots out to them because guess what? That looks like a winning team to me. So they should not feel bad about losing to USC. That was a very, very tough opponent. And I say again, this is a young team. And I think because they haven't been playing together for years, they have proven that they have what it takes to compete in the Big 12. So let's go ahead and move on to other sports news. College football news. Let's go ahead and change the screen for us, and let's see what else we had happening in college football. Let's see, college football. Oh, what am I doing this morning? I'm out of practice. Hold on 1 second. Let me get that screen back up for us. Let's get the college football scores and rankings. Now, there was another game that caught my eye, and that was the University of Florida Gators versus Kentucky. Unranked University of Kentucky defeats number 2 ranked University of Florida 33-14. That was very, very surprising to me. So, as you can see at the top of the board here, we have all the scores from yesterday. Utah lost to Oregon State 21-7. PSU versus Nebraska University 41-13. USC, of course, I just told y'all that one, 48-41, serving Colorado another loss. Florida, ranked number 22, was defeated by University of Kentucky 33-14. Georgia defeats Auburn. Michigan defeats Nebraska. Kansas City University was slaughtered by Texas Longhorns. And the list goes on and on. So the main takeaway. Oh, and don't forget, Mississippi beats LSU 55-49. To me, that was an upset because Mississippi is ranked number 20. Mississippi is ranked 20 and LSU is ranked 13. And I know that was very, very disappointing for LSU fans, but you live to fight another day. So let's move on to NFL news. In NFL news, we had the following scores from last week. San Francisco defeated the Giants. The Colts defeated the Ravens. The Browns stomped the Titans. The Lions defeat the Falcons. And the Saints had a nail biter. They almost did it. But Green Bay Packers managed to pull it off with the final score of 18-17. The Texans beat the Jaguars 37-17. And this was a blowout right here. Oh my goodness. The Miami Dolphins stomped the Broncos. But, I guess everybody would say that was to be expected because the Broncos, hadn't won a game. But, man, to put up 70 points, and I'm going to show y'all why this happened. This guy here. But let's go. Let's check out. Wait. Before I do that, should I do that first? Yeah. Let's just check out the highlights from this game. Right. This is like what I call the play of the week. Right here. So hold up, y'all. Hold up. I gotta go back and do this fair use thing, right? Because we don't want nothing to happen to the channel. Let's just go ahead and put that fair use up before we get in trouble, because we're about to use somebody's video. Get the fair use up. Let's get that up right quick. Pause for a word to call, y'all. Okay. Fair use. So, moving on to this right here. Let's get that big on the screen. Let's get that big on the screen. There we go. Let's get that big on the screen. So we're going to play that video. Check out this play right here. This is my play of the week in NFL football.
With a second down and goal. Oh, look at that. Shovel pass. A-Chain breaks a tackle and dives for 6.
Say what, say what, say what.
Slashing his way for a Miami touchdown.
Hey, let's watch it again.
Second down and goal. Oh, look at that. Shovel pass. A-Chain breaks a tackle and dives for 6.
Did y'all see that shuffle pass? Did y'all see that shuffle pass? I was like, wow, they never seen it coming. And they never seen it coming. So, speaking of Miami, y'all know I have my NFL fantasy team, right? So, even though we lost, yes, we lost. Even though we were slated to win, we still lost. Right? But this young man, let me show y'all this young man right here. Let's pause for another worthy cause. This young man. That young man is my MVP on my fantasy football team, right? Raheem Mostert. Let me show y'all what he did. Let me show y'all what he did for the team. You know, I like to highlight when people do some amazing things. This is what he did for the team. Let me show y'all. This is what he did for the team. Do y'all see this? He put up 45 points for the fantasy football team. This guy is unbelievable. For 2 weeks in a row, he was my leading scorer, outscoring the quarterback. Man, shouts out to Raheem Mostert out of Purdue, number 31. Man, come on. With him on my squad, I think I'm going to be very successful. I pray he does not get injured. You know, I just can't say enough about this guy. I'm not trying to brag on him or anything like that, but this guy was truly amazing. Number 31, if you don't have him on your squad, if you're playing fantasy football, you probably want to get him on your squad, right? Because he is doing amazing. He's doing amazing. Let me see. Did I pull up a story on him? I know I read something, but let's see. Where did I put it? Yeah. Let's talk about Raheem. Let's talk about Raheem for a minute. It says here in week 3, Raheem Mostert and Devon Achoti combined for 285 yards rushing, 11 receptions, 90 yards receiving, and 8 touchdowns. So they combined him with Devon Achoti. I think that's how you pronounce his name. But I tell you what, this young man, to give me 45 points, I just can't make this up. Total fantasy points, man. He's doing it. He's just doing it. Unbelievable what he's doing for my team. So for my fantasy team news for this week, of course, you know I'm sticking with my man Jalen Hurts at quarterback. Got Raheem Mostert at running back. Also got Jay Mixon at running back. Chris Goodwin at wide receiver. Jacoby Myers at wide receiver. Gerald Everett. Now, this was a switch. I had to switch up my tight ends because the other tight end I had, man, he just wasn't putting points on the board. So I'm going with Gerald Everett, tight end for Los Angeles Chargers this week. And then we got another wide receiver, James Conner. I hope he do better this week. Give me some points on the board. And let's see who I have for my defense this week. Defense, we're going with Minnesota. Defense, and my kicker is going to be out of Kansas City, Harrison Butler. So that's the NFL fantasy team for this week. On last week, we did make our weekly donation to the Otto.org fund based on Jalen Hurts' performance last week. We went ahead and donated to the Otto.org fund. If you haven't donated, and if you don't know who this gentleman is, check him out. Check out his case. Check out his story. We're still needing your help, still needing donations. So I want to see your names up here in this. You know what I'm saying? We got some people donated. Since I donated, there you go right there. NFNC Sports donated $120, and that's based on Jalen Hurts' performance last week. Let's see what he does today so we can help contribute to Otto.org Legal Defense Fund. All donations are tax deductible as a charitable contribution. So don't hesitate to do something for a worthy cause. And if you out there having an NFL fantasy football team, then I encourage you to take your quarterback points multiplied by 5 and then make that donation. You know. Okay, so let's get back to more sports. Still talking about the NFL, right? So we're going to look at who's leading the NFC, who's leading the AFC so far. Let me get to that screen. All right, where did I put it? Here we go. All right, so in the AFC East, the Dolphins are number 1, okay? In the AFC North, the Steelers are number 1. In the AFC South, the Colts are number 1. In the AFC West, the Chiefs are number 1. All right, now let's switch over to the NFC. In the NFC East, the Eagles are number 1. In the NFC North, the Lions are number 1. In the NFC South, we have a 3-way tie between the Falcons, the Saints, and the Buccaneers. Man, that is the division to watch. The NFC South, they trying. Can they pull it off today? Will anybody make a difference today? NFC West, the 49ers are leading the pack 3-0. So what's up for today? Today's game. Who are the challengers today? All right, so today, let's get this right. Week 4. In week 4, this is what we have to look forward to. Of course, you know right now the Atlanta Falcons are playing Jacksonville. That game is going on right now. Jacksonville is leading 7-0 in the first quarter with 5 minutes and 43 seconds left. Also today we have the 3-0 Miami Dolphins versus the 2-1 Buffaloes. Then we have Minnesota and Carolina today. They both 0-3, so we'll be interested in finding out who will become victorious. Somebody got to win, so they're going to improve to 1-3 after the day, one of the two, right? And same thing with Denver and Chicago. They both 0-3. So somebody got to be a winner. I'm taking Chicago because Denver just got slaughtered last week. So moving on. Okay, so then we got Baltimore and Cleveland. That should be a nail biter. They're both 2-1, so they vying for position. We also have Pittsburgh and Houston. I'm gonna take Pittsburgh. They keep wanting me to sign in. This is my broadcast here. No, I'm not signing in right now. All right, so like I said, Pittsburgh and Houston. I'm going with Pittsburgh. LA Chargers and Indianapolis. I'm going with the Chargers. I'm going with the Chargers because they might pull it off today. So I got a feeling that that's going to be a huge upset in Indianapolis. So Tampa Bay versus New Orleans. Oh, they're both 2-1. So like I said, they're both all of these teams, those three teams, Atlanta, Buffalo, and the same. I'm saying the Buccaneers. They're all fighting for that position to be the leader in their division. So I got to go with the Saints. That's my hometown. You know what I'm saying? So I got to go with the Saints. Be watching that very closely today. All right. Then so that's at 12 o'clock. All those games starts at 12 o'clock. And then we have Washington versus Philly. Washington is 2-1. Philadelphia is 3-0. Think Washington might be a little hungry, so Philadelphia have to watch out. Of course, you know I have Jalen Hurts, so I'm going with Philadelphia. And then so we got Cincinnati and Tennessee. That should be another interesting game. They're both 1-2, so we'll see who's going to become victorious on that end. All right. So of course, y'all know I have my Yahoo Fantasy team, but. You know, we'll see what happens with the team that we already have. Let's see. We had some more sports news here. WNBA. Remember last week I said that they were going off into the playoffs, and so on September 29th. They played game 3, and the Liberty defeated the Sun 92-81. And also in game 3, the Aces defeated the Wings 64-61. No real surprises there. No real surprises at all. So I also wanted to show y'all this news out of the box world. Right here. The Canelo Alavarez, the Jermell Charlo. Man, I just thought that he was going to win, but he showed us different. I thought Charlo was going to win, but Canelo Alavarez did his thing. Just going to read this article right quick, a little bit of it. Canelo Alavarez is still the king and is going to take more than soothsayers to oust him. Alvarez silenced whisperers of his athletic decline, outclassing fellow undisputed champion Jermell Charlo at the T-Mobile Arena in Las Vegas on Saturday night. Alvarez played lion tamer to Charlo's lion, humbling a hungry challenger whose eyes were bigger than his stomach. Charlo traveled two weight classes north in hopes of adding a second undisputed title to his collection to no avail. Alvarez successfully defended his super middleweight championships against the undisputed junior middleweight champion, scoring a round 7 knockdown and winning nearly every round on the cards. It was the first fight in the 4-belt era between two male undisputed champions. Charlo fell short of lofty ambitions, but the night wasn't a total loss for boxers rising to the challenge. A mature and disciplined Mario Barrios, 28, looked renewed and evolved while battering former WNBA welterweight champion Unitas Yugas earlier that night. That was the undercard, and it was an absolute thriller, they say, with Elijah Garcia stopped Armando Hernandez. But man, I just want to say, shouts out to Canelo Alvarez, man. I don't know what's up for his next, who's going to be his next challenger, but I just really thought that Charlo was going to pull it off. But I could be wrong sometimes. I could be wrong, So shouts out to Canelo Alvarez, right? So the scorecards was he won by unanimous decision. One judge gave him 119 to 108. Another judge scored it 118 to 109, and another judge scored it 118 to 109. So, like I said, Charlo went down in the 7th round. So, hey, what can I say? What can I say, guys? So, I want to thank you all for watching again. If you have some sports stories that you want me to cover, look into some sports news that we should pay attention to, please email me at email me at newsfactc@gmail.com. Share your story, share the news, and I'll try to let you know. I don't know what's going on with my computer. That was the Charlo fight right there. I don't know. I guess y'all wasn't seeing that, but you heard my voice, hopefully. So like I said, I thank you all for watching another edition of NFNC Sports Rap Session. And as usual, that's a wrap.